Resident Evil Requiem is peak. I just beat this game yesterday and I cannot believe how much fun I had playing this game. Like, from the beginning to the ending, I was basically glued to the screen. I cannot believe how much fun I had with this. Like, to me, Resident Evil Requiem, it's as if Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 4, along with Resident Evil 7, had a baby. Not only are the graphics to Requiem both bright and beautiful to me, but I just love how the story opens up with this new character, Grace, who is a technical analyst for the FBI, and her boss, she wants her to investigate another murder that happened. This time it happened near a place called the Redwood Hotel, and you find out through the story, at the beginning of the story basically, that it's where her mother was murdered, but her boss is like, okay, your mother was murdered 8 years ago. It's time for you to move on to face the past. And what I love about it is that it's just kind of like, I was sort of thinking that the beginning was kind of gonna be like an open world of Resident Evil, which would be really cool to have Grace going through this city, which she does in the beginning, which I think is kind of fun that you get to go through the city. But it'd be cool if you could like explore shops to stock up on like food, ammo, things like that. But it still is fun to just be as Grace going through the city, walking her way through the city streets to the Redwood Hotel. I thought that was pretty cool. Capcom did a great job of taking the story like right from the very beginning, having this clear, cheerful, sunny day, bright color game, and when Grace is sent on her mission to investigate the murder, she, once you get to the Redwood Hotel, you use the flashlight and just to see how everything is burned, all these like this crime scene set up, you know something is gonna go down. But just with the music and the intensity and the air that is felt, to me anyway, that I felt the intensity in the air coming from the screen from the video game, I honestly felt like I was inside the Redwood Hotel with Grace as she was exploring the crime scene, seeing what happened. It was so cool. I mean, like, I've never felt that way with a Resident Evil game before, and I felt like Capcom did a really good job of making Requiem come alive. The moment that you could tell that this game was turning into a horror game was when, during the time Grace is exploring the Redwood Hotel, she runs into this officer, and he's just like, acting super strange, and Grace asks like, "Are you doing alright, officer?" And the officer is just like, "Yeah, it's just something stung me." And he just totally turns zombified and he bites Grace, and like Grace is like hooked on this little like what the bellboys use to take people's luggage up to the hotel room. She's like caught on one of those. The officer has a shotgun, so Grace is avoiding the officer's gunfire. Eventually she breaks free, and like it feels totally intense because Grace is terrified at what she just saw, and she's also being hunted by this zombie, and it's just crazy, man, how intense this game goes from 0 to 100, and me personally, I love it. So while all of this is going on, like Grace escapes from the zombified officer, she's running through the Redwood Hotel, she ran into Victor Gideon, which is like the main villain of the game. She is trying to avoid him. And during all this time, we get our second protagonist of this game, which honestly, it doesn't surprise me Capcom chose to bring in this character, because he's everyone fans of Resident Evil games, everyone loves him, including me. They brought back Leon S. Kennedy, and it's so cool. Like, Leon is old. Like, when it is his very first game, Resident Evil 2, he was like, I think he was like 26, 27, and now he's 51. But that's not stopping him from kicking ass in this game. From the very start of the game, he's investigating how this one person died, and then he's walking through the streets, how he's following Gideon. He sees Victor Gideon on the streets, he's following him, and Victor Gideon knows that Leon's following him, basically. So Victor Gideon is like using this little tranquilizer dart basically to shoot these different people, and they're becoming zombies themselves. So it ends up being this whole battle in the middle of the city with Leon fighting a whole bunch of zombies, which is really cool because I love that with this, Capcom gave the zombies weapons that once Leon stuns them or kills them, he can pick up their weapons and use them against these other zombified people. It's really cool. So the thing that you gotta know about this game is that the story with Leon and the story with Grace, they're two separate stories technically, but they do intertwine. Like, you'll be playing as Grace through the game, and then you'll hear like an alarm going off, and it's like something Grace never did, but it's what Leon did with his story. Anyway, while Leon is out in the city fighting these zombies, you got Grace who's woken up, and she's been kidnapped. She's in this care center. She has no idea what's going on. She's just trying to get out. And at this one point, to open this locked gate, she knocks the power out, and she uses a slider to light it up, see where she is, and she ends up seeing this terrifying zombie-like creature. And what's creepy is that you personally, again, I felt like I was in the game myself, because I'm stumbling over my words. As Grace is running through the hallways of the care center avoiding the creature, she'll stumble, and as you're playing it, you're feeling the intensity, because through the controller, you can feel the heartbeat of Grace, you can feel her footsteps going, you can feel when she stumbles, and so you're just like, come on Grace, get up, get up, get up, get up, you're being chased, you can't allow this thing to you, get up, hide, hide, hide! It's crazy. It's a super intense feeling because you don't want to get caught. It's crazy. I love it. So eventually, after fighting through the horde of zombies in the city, we go back to Leon's side of the story. He gets to the care center where Grace is avoiding the creature, and I guess he's posing as this patient of Dr. Gideon, and he's invited to wait for the other doctors to see him. Well, you find out that later he has this sickness, the T-virus. Even though he didn't turn into a zombie, the people that were never turned into the zombie during Raccoon City, the whole time that the T-virus was released, and they survived the whole zombie outbreak, they were still infected by the T-virus, only the T-virus remained dormant inside them. And it's just now that it's starting to affect Leon, he's getting really sick, he's getting all these marks throughout his body, his body's basically rotting from the inside, and it's starting to show it from the outside. Anyway, he's going to the care center to check it out, and lo and behold, the doctor and the other doctors and patients have all become zombies, and what I love is that the zombies can actually talk in this. In the other Resident Evil games with the zombies, how they would howl or hiss at Chris or Jill or Leon. In this, they'll say different things. There's this one part where this doctor comes with a chainsaw, and he's like, "Cut out." It's great, and it's so cool because like I said earlier, how you can use the zombies' weapons against them. It's so much fun going against these zombies with a chainsaw, because you feel like freaking Ash Williams from Evil Dead. Not only is it really fun to play as Leon fighting the zombies in the care center, but one of the best things that stuck out to me through this game was the controller actually. Like how motion censored it is. Like pulling the trigger of a gun, how powerful you make it really makes you like feel the impact of pulling the trigger like you're actually holding the gun. Plus, when Leon's talking over his radio to Sherry, the person he's communicating with at headquarters, like you can hear it through the controller, through footsteps, you can feel in the controller. If like Leon's walking through water, you can feel the vibrations of the water in the controller. Honestly, I was really impressed how motion sensitive the controller was for this game. Honestly, the controller was one of the coolest aspects of the game, I'm not gonna lie. With the gameplay and the controller, it was a great experience. Anyway, after Leon's done hacking up all the zombified doctors and patients, he actually runs into Grace again in trouble. He saves her from like the giant monster that's attacking her. And unfortunately, Leon gets captured by Victor Gideon, and Grace is able to escape, which is her act of the game, which is really fun because you get to explore the care center as Grace, like solving all these puzzles, fighting these zombies as Grace, which I didn't think was gonna be that fun. But Grace is honestly one of my favorite characters to play as in the Resident Evil series. Like, she's really cool. She's like another Jill Valentine in my opinion, basically. Like, she's afraid, like whenever she speaks, she stutters a lot, like, what are you doing to me? Where are we going? Why are we doing this? That's how she talks, but honestly, you can tell why she would be afraid like that, because the whole notion of zombies, an entire evil corporation after her, it's basically like the first time ever happening to her, so I bet anyone would be reacting to that kind of situation like she did. It's really interactive too. I love how sneaky you can be around the mansion and to find these weapons. Like, when Grace is going around the care center, like, you have nothing. You do have Requiem, but Requiem's just this giant, super powerful gun. But if you use those bullets, you have nothing. And there's zombies all over the care center, so Grace has to be careful just to like sneak around these super powerful zombies. She can fight them to do a melee attack, she just pushes them down, which is kind of lame. But you are able to like makeshift these little knives, and if you're good enough, if you're like wanting to investigate everywhere around the care center, you can eventually find Grace's gun that she brought with her at the beginning of the game to investigate the Redwood Mansion. And what I love is that how bloody this game is. It's probably like the bloodiest Resident Evil game in the series in my opinion, but there's a point to that. Say there's a point to that. I'm not just saying that Resident Evil Requiem is bloody just to be bloody. Probably it kind of is, but there's also a major reason. Like later in the game, Grace finds this item that as she collects blood from these zombies, she can use it to craft these different things. Like she can use the blood to mix with scraps, or to mix with the green plants, or to mix with gunpowder. She can combine them all together to create ammo, she can create health, she can create steroids. Just like, the blood is a major aspect of this game, which is really creative how Capcom decided how to turn blood and gore into something that can be useful for this game. I thought that was really cool. One of my favorite scenes in this game is that after Grace escapes the care center, she helps this one pilot like take off into the air to get out away from the city, away from the care center, and all these zombies just get on top of the helicopter, and the helicopter ends up crashing, and it's like trying to be this whole intense action scene, and it has the perfect jump scare because Grace survives the crash and she looks how the pilot's doing, and she looks over and he just has this tree branch just sticking out of his chest, and literally the music is like "Da-da!" I don't know if it's trying to be a jump scare, but it was actually really intense to see, but really cool at the same time. The reason I say that it feels like Resident Evil 4 at times is Leon's story. I mean, Leon's just going around the care center kicking ass, and after the helicopter crashes, he finds the sniper rifle, and Claire's trying to get into this church, so she's like trying to force her way in. The door is like just bolted shut, and she's trying to force her way in, and at the same time these zombies are coming after her. So Leon is like on this balcony, and he's just sniping these zombies, just doing headshot after headshot. It's really fun. And then he ends up meeting with Grace again. He tells her to get out of here while these zombies are just coming into the church, and you can actually like set the church on fire, so you're fighting these undead creatures in a burning building, which is how Leon's fight with that priest was in Resident Evil 4, but it's really fun. It was super fun. You're fighting these zombies. There's this one giant zombie that Leon takes on. You have to burst these certain like blood packs on him before it fully gets destroyed. It's really fun. I had so much fun playing it. It gave me so many more memories of Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 3. Super cool. So I know there's a lot of people that play the game, but I don't want to go into super major spoilers, but there's this one point in the game where Grace feels like Leon's betrayed her, and so she just basically wants to cut ties with Leon, and that's how she ends up going with this new character, Zeno, who's the second villain, basically, and Victor Gideon, and they end up going into Raccoon City. I guess they may have been in Raccoon City the entire time, I don't know, but that was so cool. Anyway, the way that Raccoon City is revealed, it's really cool. Anyway, Leon's like, Grace is in trouble. We need to help her. I have to get her back. And it's so cool to just go on through the streets of Raccoon City. At the end of Resident Evil 3, Raccoon City was nuked to get rid of the zombies. To see the aftermath of Raccoon City, to see the city and buildings in rubble, and to see everything that was in the second and third games have been destroyed now. It's sad, but it's really interesting to go through. And Leon has the best welcoming to Raccoon City. I mean, it's this giant mutated spider that he fights, and it's almost kind of like a labyrinth, kind of, because it's in this little small destroyed building area that Leon can take the spider on, and it's crazy. It's a really fun fight, because there's like these other little baby spiders that'll attack Leon if he lets them get too close. He has to burn through these spider webs to be able to move through the buildings. And just the spider itself, the fact that it gets that big and Leon has to kill it, that itself is a terrifying aspect of the game. The cutscenes are really creepy, because Leon's just looking through the city, and this giant spider is just slowly coming down from above him. It's terrifying, but it's really cool. Honestly, the zombies in Raccoon City were probably the funnest aspect of this, because they come up from the ground, and their design is how you would expect zombie to look from anime. Like, they're basically they're literally the Walking Dead. They're like skeletons, and like, they have no flesh on them, but the bones are rotting away, their clothes are like decaying away, and their like hair is rotting away. They have no eyes, they're no nose, no nothing. But it's great because Leon can use the weapons to fight them. There's this one point where he's like in this warehouse, so he's climbing on a bunch of these containers, fighting these zombies. He's picking up their weapons, using them against these zombies. It's super cool. The only problem I have with it, though, is that there's no merchants in this game, like Duke or the merchant in Resident Evil 4, you know, the merchant that goes like, "What can I do you for, stranger? What you buying?" That guy, like, there's no Duke or him. And so, but it's like a more futuristic style of upgrading your weapons. You just open up, well, you just hit this computer to pull up the screen on this box, and you can choose to like upgrade your body armor, or to upgrade your weapons, or to sell your weapons, or to sell anything you find, or to buy stronger weapons or ammo, or it's basically the merchant store without the merchant, just more futuristic, which itself is kind of cool, but I prefer an actual merchant. All of Raccoon City was amazing. I love that section. Like, there's this one part where Leon's going through these destroyed buildings that are falling apart on him, and there's this one part where to get to this one location, he has to fight these zombies on this glass roof. Well, it's not a roof, it's like the windows, and he can like shoot the windows where the zombies will fall through. I did that once by accident. I thought I got the zombie, but it turned out to be the window that I was standing on as well. So we both fell to our deaths. That was my first mistake. But my second trial going through that area, I was able to get through it no problem. But I thought it was a really creative way to have a different battle arena where it was on top of glass windows above like 1,000-foot drop. I thought that was really cool. There's a motorcycle chase fight scene in this, which I think is like the coolest thing Resident Evil has done. They've done a motorcycle thing before, like with the movies like Resident Evil Vendetta. Leon's been on a bike being chased by these dogs, and they've done it with Resident Evil Death Island, where Leon fights Maria on a highway. There's a highway battle on motorcycles, but when they've done it in a video game, it is super cool how they did it in this video game. Like, Leon's still being chased by these dogs, but it is so cool because he's also being targeted by Victor Gideon. Victor Gideon is like shooting these bazooka missiles at him, and what's fun is like Leon is like going straight, left, turning everything to avoid the gunfire to shoot these dogs behind him, and he's going through these alleyways of the destroyed city. He's going off these jumps, and at the same time there's these just rubble blocking his way, so he has to shoot these explosive containers to blow up the rubble so he can get through. It's super fun. Like, visually it's spectacular, and you can feel the vibrations and everything in the controller as Leon goes through the city, which is really cool. And Leon in the end has like a game of chicken basically with Victor Gideon. Leon like first punctures Gideon's fuel tank, and then he shoots the bike, and Victor crashes. He goes off this cliff, and Leon being himself, he's like, "Should have worn a helmet." It's awesome.
Should have worn a helmet.
So during this, while Leon is struggling with the giant spiders and Victor Gideon and the dogs and the motorcycle and everything that's going on in Raccoon City, Grace speaks with Zeno, and she's like, explained why they think that she's the chosen one, basically. Why they can bring her, their evil plan to fruition. And Grace is like shown this clip of all these clones where a lot of people hate this section of the evil clones. It's like you're just this little girl going through this orphanage avoiding these clones, which are terrifying. They're like these bald little girls, but the top of their heads have been like sewn off, have been like sawed off and sewn back on, and they have these evil red eyes. And like, this little girl's trying to escape them, but if you get caught, it's freaking terrifying, man. Because like, they'll put their hands on her, so it's like you're seeing everything. Like, it's first person. They'll put their hands like on the camera, and then the camera will like go sideways with a snap, indicating you broke the little girl's neck. It's terrifying if she gets caught, but it's, in my opinion, I didn't think it was awful. Like, I like the challenge of avoiding the girls. I thought it was cool that it leads to a whole, like, catacomb thing below a church where she has to climb these coffins to reach certain obstacles to get to her goal. I thought it was a little pretty fun area. It's short, which, again, I don't see why people hate it because it's a really short section of the game, but people do. But I liked it. So after that, it goes back to Leon's story, and that leads him to Raccoon City Police Department, which is really sad, honestly, because he's finding all these things that reminds him of his past. It's like giving him PTSD. Like, he opens this locked door where he finds a skull which belonged to a father and a daughter. The father wouldn't leave the daughter, even though the daughter had been infected and was turning. He wasn't gonna leave her, and he just is like, I'm so sorry, I couldn't help. It's a really sad moment to just realize what Leon has gone through in his life. Like, he has been through a lot fighting the undead and fighting the people that made the undead. Like, it's just really, he's led a really sad life. But just seeing these cutscenes, it's like, it's incredible. The last couple things I want to talk about are the boss fights. Like, eventually Leon does catch up to Zeno and Grace, and Zeno ends up releasing Mr. X onto Leon, and Leon, like, instead of being terrified like he was in the second one, he's just like, I remember you. And they have this fight in the middle of Raccoon City, and it's crazy. It's a super crazy fight. Sometimes you can parry Mr. X's blows, but other times he'll just knock Leon into the cars and it'll stun Leon, and you have to like kind of like tap the X or whatever button to unphase Leon. And what's crazy is that it's super satisfying though to see Mr. X finally blow up after Leon hits the right place. It's a really satisfying fight. Super cool. And then after that, Leon goes back into the sewers of Raccoon City, where he fights a boss that's like a mutated plant, which kind of feels more like Legend of Zelda, but it was put into Raccoon City, which I'm not complaining about. I thought it was cheesy, but also really fun at the same time. Anyway, that leads to him going into a facility, which is like the final section of the game, where he runs into H.U.N.K, which is a super skilled assassin, and the fight he has with Leon is like the fight he has with Krauser, just this hand-to-hand how skilled the two are with close combat. They're using these little hatchets to attack each other in this small room where H.U.N.K will slash these pipes to release steam to cover him up so Leon can't see him. It's a really fun, intense fight. I really liked it. And at the end, after Leon kills H.U.N.K, Like, you get to take H.U.N.K's hatchet, just like how Leon got to take Krauser's knife after Leon killed Krauser in Resident Evil 4. So that was cool that you get a level up in a hand weapon after beating a boss. That was cool. The facility is really fun to play through because you get to play as both Grace and Leon through this. And with Grace, it's her going through this area. Like, there's the Lickers make another appearance in this, which is crazy because I don't think they've been around since like Resident Evil 5. They may have been in 6, I can't remember. But it was crazy to see them make a return. And it was really fun though, because as you collect these empty bottles and you collect the blood, Grace can make these acid bottles that she'll throw onto the Lickers, and it'll instantly just kill them. There's also zombies that Grace will shoot when she finds her weapons again. It's a really cool area. And with Leon going through the facility, there's this one part where he goes into the room and it's just all these Lickers, and he's just like, I'll take on as many of you guys as I have to. And after he kills those guys, like, a bunch of Umbrella Corporation soldiers come in to stop him, and it turns into like this whole, he goes into this one room where it's like they're looking for him with their flashlights and stuff, and Leon can just shoot them. It's a matter of who shoots first. It kind of feels like Call of Duty at this point, but I still really liked it. Like, there's this other room where there's these Lickers in this glass container, and I feel like I played it really smart because it took me a second try, but I got to the area where the Lickers are, and I shot the Licker, it got out, and I just let the Licker take out all these other soldiers. And with Lickers, if you don't know, they are zombies. They've gone through a heavier mutation from the T-virus to where their skin is like gone inside out and their brains have like grown over their eyes. So they rely on the sense of sound as well as they can attack with their tongues. So right after the Licker got rid of the soldiers, I just shot it with a super powerful gun, and yeah, that took care of it. I thought it was smart. And this entire time, like, the T-virus is starting to really affect on him, and it's to a point where he has these, like, little episodes where he can't, like, what's there that he's seen is really there, but it's kind of like blurry vision. It's really affecting him. Like, he's dying at this point. It's starting to really affect on him. It's kind of like how Resident Evil 4, after he's infected with Las Plagas, there's that one scene with Ashley where he's carrying her and he has that vision where all those people are just around him and he's walking through them to the door. It's like that, but it's just like he's dying. Anyway, the fighting in it is amazing. It's fun to fight through the pangs of Leon dying. It's really sad that he's dying, but it's really cool that he can still kick ass in the current state that he's in. Anyway, the last bit of the game completely feels like a Mission Impossible or a James Bond movie, because it's just action, action, action. Like, it's revealed that Gideon survived the fight with Leon, the bike crash, and he ends up killing Zeno in a really gruesome way. And Leon, like, he falls to the bottom of the facility where he takes on Gideon, and Gideon ends up morphing into this giant monster, which is a really fun fight that Leon takes on Gideon in. But at the end, when Leon finally destroys Gideon, there's a part where Leon's just like, don't get back up. And he shoots and destroys the creature of Gideon. It's super cool. So, with Gideon and Zeno both dead, the facility is destroyed. Basically, Leon and Grace are just trapped. And Leon's like, this isn't gonna be your tomb, Grace. I'm gonna stay here with you. And you think, like, this is where they're both gonna die. That Grace is basically giving up. Leon's just, instead of being a jerk, he's like, he has compassion on Grace. And he says that he's gonna be with her no matter what. But the BSAA, the good guys, they show up. And, like, Leon says that he has a cure for everyone. And, that's basically the end of the game. Grace and Leon say goodbye. The world's been saved. It's really cool. Like, there's a news report that Umbrella was still operating for years, even though nobody had any idea about it. And Leon and Grace basically go back to their normal lives. So would I recommend Requiem to anybody? I would say you gotta be a fan of the Resident Evil series. And for game-wise, I would definitely say you gotta play 2 and 3. Because there's a lot of callbacks, especially to 2. Not so much to 3, just there's a lot of the Raccoon City Police Department in both 2 and 3. So that's basically the reason you gotta play 3. But if you love the Resident Evil games, there's no question in my mind that you need to play Requiem because it's really fun. Anyway, that's what I got for you. I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked what I talked about. Please, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see me cover more stuff. Specifically, if you want more Resident Evil stuff, subscribe to it. Because I love covering Resident Evil stuff. Anyway, that's what I got for you. I'll see you later.